Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Monday, the 7th of April. Starting off with the FTSE 100 as normal, where we were looking for 77.30 to be the lowest this market would go to. But in fact, as you can see, there was a fresh or an extra leg down. That was derived from that support line projection from April last year. 75.44 the low. And the other thing to note, which is probably the most serious part of this little broadcast, is that the RSI has gone down to, or went down to 14. It's now slightly bounced, obviously, because the market slightly bounced. 77.30 would be initial resistance, so an end of day close back above that, and we could be heading back towards the 8,000 area, which is one point to note. The other point to note, which is very relevant at the moment, is that the market is now, or has been, as oversold as it was back in the pandemic when we thought we were all going to die immediately. Then the RSI went down to around the 12, 13 levels. Let's say it was 12. And it took a week to bounce from that. We've had the low here. Let's say it was 14 on the RSI scale. One would assume that after the dust settles, that could also be an opportunity to go long of this market in the same way as the pandemic. But obviously, history doesn't always repeat itself. But at least we have at the moment 77.30 potential resistance initially, and end of day close above that back to 8,000. Anything lower than 75.44 on an end of day close basis, just in case. And then we are looking for the main, the 2024 low, which was around 7,400. So that may be the emergency nightmare level in the near term. Moving on to the DAX, and here, plenty of warning here, probably the best warning with the bull trap island top that we had last month. And here, interestingly enough, we've actually got initial reaction here off for 18,500. That was basically in fact, above the September support there for this market, 18,200, which is a positive. And while we're above the November low there, 18,800, looking for this market to at least have a nudge of the 200-day line there, just shy of 2,000 or 20,000 rather. RSI not as oversold as the FTSE 100, and you can see the last time we were oversold in under 30 at least. That was a massive buying opportunity. So sort of looks as though with the two markets we're looking at that there's a little bit of an expectation that we could turn around, and also that somebody is going to blink on tariffs sooner rather than later. Moving on to the Dow, and here we're sort of ready for the nightmare to emerge. The levels that we got to on Friday, basically taking this market down to where it was in June. I suppose we're looking at the 2024 support for this market to come in, and that would then be the signal that we could turn around from there. But the initial 2024 support there, 37,000, and it would be surprising if we broke down through that and held below it for an extended period of time, even under current uncertainty. On the upside, the old April low there, 37,600, probably coming into play after we have our collapse to the downside. Moving on to Bitcoin, which actually on a technical basis has done exactly what we wanted it to do. We were already expecting this yesterday, in fact yesterday when I covered this market, we already had a double failure of the RSI at and above the neutral 50 level. So we broke that support line there at 82,000, and we've been looking for 73 to 74,000 after that, and presumably that is what we'll get, given that the RSI is at 33 and not oversold yet. So looking for 73 to 74, pre-November resistance for this market over the next few sessions. Moving along to the stocks, and not many to choose from. In fact, the ones we've got today are ones which have come up with extremely good news. The first one is Atome, and here a contract win, massive contract win, and another bounce off that uptrend line in the RSI window. There's actually been divergence there since November, so we're looking for at least the 50-day moving average at 36 pence. Ideally, we're back to the upper 40s, low 50s by the end of next month, once the dust settles on the market as a whole. On to Brighton Pier, and here, strange chart, but it looks as though we've overshot to the downside, and that the natural low should have been around the 10 pence level. We could get back to the top of that falling trend channel, or even the 50-day line at 20 pence by the end of the month, while we remain above the 10 pence zone on an end-of-day close basis. Had the feeling that Capai would have a turnaround, and here you can see that we've bounced, I suppose, basically with the February trading area around the 0.25 level, but 0.25 looking for 0.35 again, even if the shares fall back after that. Finishing off with Catenai, and here you can see that suspicions that we were in a rising trend channel base proved to be correct. Very good announcement today, gapping through the 50 and 200-day lines. Initial target here, 0.31, best case up to 0.45 by the end of next month, perhaps depending on what the company does in terms of spending its recently acquired cash. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.